Hey all, welcome back to the new video. So I think today we'll start with the basic of C program. Okay, today would be the first class for C program. I think in last video, no, we have already completed the generation of computer and all. So today we'll start with programming language, that is C. Okay, let's start. Okay, so topics to be covered, I have mentioned like basic of computer, we have already covered it, and from today onwards we'll start with C. Okay, C language. What is C language? It's a programming language and it's a high level language, and it is like a procedure oriented programming language. Okay, so you will ask me like why this language is required. Okay, why we'll call it as programming language? Because this language, like in layman language, if I'll tell to you that as this language is used to write some program, this is called as programming language. Okay, so as we are using this language to develop some program, to write some program, so that's why it's called as programming language. Okay, then you will ask me, what is this high level language? Okay, so basically computer languages are classified into two types, like high level language and low level language. Okay, so high level language, it's almost like English language, and it's very user friendly, and it is more close to the human being. Okay, like simply if we read a program, then definitely we'll get some idea. Let's see, it's like a English language. Okay, leave this part. What is this has include stdio.h and all, please leave it. Okay, so we'll start from here. Int a equal to 10. Okay, leave int also. A equal to 10 in mathematics, when we perform some calculations and all, we initialize or store some variable value in a variable. Same way, it's a variable, a is a variable, and we are storing the value 10 into a. This much information we got it from here. And same way, like in B also we are storing 20, isn't it? Like we are declaring C, and we are storing the value, like the result of a plus b in C, isn't it? And we are printing it, like printf is there. So simply whenever we are reading a program, we are at least getting some ideas, isn't it? And it's almost like English lines. So that's why it is called as high level language. What is high level language? Like it is easily understandable by human being. It's just like a English sentence. Okay, and there are some advantages and disadvantages associated with this language, high level language. Okay, so if this is high level language, then what is low level language? The language which is more close to the computer is called as low level language. Okay, we'll cover like the whole clarification regarding high level language and low level language, again how we are classifying the high level language and low level language, and the advantages and disadvantages of high level language and low level language we'll discuss later. Okay, and next point is why it is called as procedure oriented programming language. Okay, so procedure oriented programming language, or we can call it as function oriented programming language. Okay, like we are giving more importance to the functions or procedures. Okay, like the whole program would be depend on a particular function, or we are simply defining lots of functions, and we are performing some task on the basis of the function. So that's why it's called as procedure oriented programming language or function oriented programming language. Okay, I think at least you got some idea like why it is programming language and why it's a high level language, why we'll call it as procedure oriented programming language. Okay, I think at least you got some idea. Okay, then what is a program? I told you, this language is basically used to write some program, but you will ask me like what is a program? Program is a set of instruction, and a program is used to perform some task. Okay, program, you'll ask me like, you are talking about some birthday functions or wedding functions or receptions. It's called, we call it as a program. No, we have some program in our house, yeah, we call it. But program is also like associate with some set of instruction, and we perform some task. Okay, let's take an example of reception. Okay, marriage reception. So see, there are so many event, like small event. If we like classify the whole reception into small event, then each event has to associate with some instruction, like somebody has to take a charge of that particular event. And the motto of that particular event is to perform some task, isn't it? Like the people who are serving food to guest, they are also performing one event. Somebody is there who is conducting and operating everything, isn't it? And they are like getting instruction from the head of the family, or like any person from the family. They are getting instruction, no, on the basis of that particular instruction they are working, isn't it? So that is called as program. See, if we'll consider this as a program, why we'll call it as a program? See, first some step of instruction are there, like we are storing 10 and 20 into two variable called a and b, and we are declaring a variable called c, like third variable. And in that third variable we are storing the result of a plus b, isn't it? So all these steps are called as instruction. Okay, did you get some idea regarding instruction? Instruction means what to do, like which thing I have to do, I don't have any idea, so give some instruction so that it would perform the addition of two numbers, that is 10 and 20. This is this is very basic program I'm telling you. But same in this like this program, so many complex program would be there. Okay, so program is just like set of instruction, and the motto of the program is to perform some task. The motto of the program is to perform some task. Okay, so as I told you, this is like a C program. What we have written here, like has, this is a preprocessor which will include a library called stdio.h. The full form of this stdio.h is standard std for standard, IO for input output, and dot h is like a extension of header file, we can call it. Okay, same like conio dot h also, it's a library. Okay, we are including. Then int main, it's a function. How you will get to know that this is a function? Just remember this point. If some words would be there, and after that words opening closing parenthesis would be there, this is called opening, this is called closing parenthesis. Okay, or round braces we can call it. This is opening and closing parenthesis would be there. So this kind of term is called as a function. Okay, and the reading of the program, computer reads the program from here only. Okay, from main function the computer reads the program. Okay, so then this is the scope. In that particular scope we are writing the program. Okay, like a is 10, b is 20, and we are performing the task. Okay, so why programming language? Yeah, I told you like what is programming language, what is program, but why we require all this, like why programming language are required, why like why we need to write some program, or what is the motto of the program, why we write some program. So here are the the flow. See, programming language is basically used to develop some programs. Okay, and why we would write this program? To develop some software or application. Okay, why this software or application is required? To perform some task. Okay, you will tell me like give some example on it. Yeah, definitely I'll give you. Let's go to Google Chrome. Okay, I'll search called edge calculator. It's like a software. What's the motto of this calculator? You will call, like, why would use this? See here, you can give your date of birth. Okay, on the basis of date of birth, like for today's date, it will calculate your age. Okay, 22 years, 0 months and 0 days. If you would perform it manually, definitely it will take at least 1 or 2 minutes or more than that. you know if we'll calculate through our hands or manually we'll do something calculation and all, it will take some time. This is, I'm giving you a very basic example, but this kind of, I think you all have idea regarding software. Software are performing really complex task in a very simpler way, isn't it? So for this only we develop some software. Okay, so behind that, the software or application, we write some programs by using some programming language, that is, maybe C, maybe Java, maybe Python. Lots of language are there. Okay, so behind of this software we are, write some programs and using some programming language to perform what? To perform task. Here the task is what? The task is, age calculation. We are calculating our age, isn't it? Using a programming language, we write programs to develop software or application, and we use this software or application to perform some task. Okay, a C language uses English like words and it is more user friendly. That's why C is called as high level language. As I told you, like, high level language, why we call it? Because it's like more user friendly, it is closer to the human being, and the whole program is just like, English sentence, isn't it? Whenever we are reading a program, we are getting some ideas, isn't it? So that's why it's called as, high level language. Okay, so let's stop with, on this, and in next video we'll start with computer language. Okay, bye.